Hey, welcome back to my stamp room, and I'm excited that you're going to stamp with me again today. So this morning we are working on this snowy card, and I'm going to show you how to make a fun background for this card, as well as a little bit of some embossing. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're just going to take a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this is about 4 1/8 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to use a little bit of Island Indigo and a sponge, and we're going to create a background just with the sponge. Excuse the camera for shaking a little bit. Get a little crazy in here. Now, you'll notice on the sides I'm going to be a little bit darker, and in the center I'm not going to press as hard, because the center I want just not as dark. Of course, I should cover up my big fat fingerprint in the center. You gotta love it when that happens. And you're going to go about, I don't know, 3/4 of the way down. We really just need this upper half that we're really going to care about. Alright, once you have that piece, then we're going to use our Northern Flurry texture embossing folder, and we're going to emboss snowflakes. Voila, I already have that done for you. And we're going to add a little bit more fun. I'm going to take a Whisper White craft pad, and I'm going to take a sponge dauber. And I'm just going to ink up that sponge dauber, and I'm just going to gently go over these snowflakes. And again, just gently, just making them white. But it's what we're going to do next that is going to make it pop and make it fun. A little bit more there, and maybe a little bit more there. Again, you don't have to worry too much about the bottom because we're going to cover that up. Alright, next you want some iridescent ice, and that's the embossing powder that is clear, but it also has a glitter in it, and it's super pretty. Now you notice I have this big old tub because I like to use it a lot, and it gives me a little bit more space. It saves my mess is really what it does. Alright, so I'm going to just shake that off a little bit, give it a little... Oh, there is sparkle everywhere in my room. This is why my husband walks around with sparkles on his nose. Alright, we're going to give this a little heat. I'm using the new heat tool, and guess what? I can still talk over the heat tool. I think it's pretty cool. Okay. So now we have our snowflake done. We're going to build our card. And I already have a piece of Whisper White cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and put some snail on the back of this, and I'm going to mount that directly onto my Whisper White cardstock base. And that was 4 1/4 by 11. Alright. Okay, so once we have this piece mounted, we're going to add some snow by adding some Whisper White cardstock, and we're just going to tear that kind of, you know, like a snow mound. And we're going to layer these on top of each other. And we'll layer this one first. And then I'm going to layer some vellum. I don't know about you, but I just don't use my vellum enough. And I love vellum because it's so pretty. And we're going to tear this one more. And you see how we're going to make kind of a snow mound like that. Okay, let's put this one on here. Just putting a little snail on the side. You can't really see it. And we're going to try to put that on as straight as we can. Alright, and let's do another one kind of around the same area. This time my snow mound is on this side. Put that right there, and then we're going to put that onto our card. Now when I put this onto my card, I'm actually going to use snail. I was going to use dimensionals, but you know what, those will show. And the more I keep looking at this, I don't like it. because you can see that bottom. You better line that up. And so I'm going to tear this one just a wee bit more. There we go. Alright, now let's put it on here. We're just going to line it up to our layer right there. Oh, no, that's pretty. Okay, so now we have our snow mounds. Now we need to work on our tree. I really love this evergreen set. It's a really beautiful set. So for this, we're going to start off with Old Olive. And we're going to ink up the solid tree first. Oh, excuse, there is a big old hair on that. Silly. All right, let's stamp that right in the center. And you might want to let that dry just for a second because it gets really wet on the Whisper White cardstock. We're going to come back over this with Gumball Green. I know you're probably saying, what? But I want the words, and I want them kind of bright. You're not going to see much of them. I mean, watch. I mean, you know, if you didn't want to do this, you didn't have to. But guess what? I wanted to. Oh, I like it. All right. So a little Gumball Green, a little Old Olive, and now we're going to come in with some Versamark with this image of the tree. And this is actually my favorite one. Oh my word. It really is beautiful. Okay, so now you're just going to stamp that directly over it again. Now, isn't this cool? 3 layers of ink. Oh man, that is so pretty. Okay, watch this. This is pure magic here. I'm going to use pewter embossing powder. I love the pewter. And just going to pour that over like that. Tap it off. Oop. It's an embossing booger. All right, let's move this over before I have a disaster. I don't know about you, but I've had an embossing disaster before. It is not pretty. All right, let's heat this up. Because seriously, magic. All right. Look at how pretty that is. Now to mount this one, we're going to use dimensionals. And I'm putting it on Island Indigo cardstock. Oh, and you're probably wondering what size this Whisper White is. Let me tell you what size that is. That's going to be 2 inches by 3.5 inches. And then your Island Indigo cardstock is just going to be a smidge more than that. So maybe 3, what did I say this was? 3.5, so 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. That sounds about right. All right, and then we're going to put this right here. We're going to go ahead and mount that too with dimensionals. So this is a nice popped up card. Get these dimensional papers off. All right, let's put that straight. At least I try. All right, right there. Okay, I've already embossed the Merry Christmas from the Open Sleigh stamp set, and I embossed that with the pewter. And the Open Sleigh set is a beautiful stamp set. You're going to see a little bit more of that on my blog this week because I really like it. Because I didn't have a lot of room to put Merry Christmas across, I wanted to just stamp it, cut it, and then I could put it on like this with some snail. I'm just kind of roughing up the edges just a wee bit, just to make it kind of pop a little bit off that vellum. So we'll put that on. And then there's just one more piece that we're going to add to this, and this card will be done. And I think it's quite elegant. This, I just added a button. This is the Old Olive button, so this will be in your brights. And then this is one of those small clear buttons. I tied the two together with a piece of linen thread, and that's it. So thanks for stamping with me today. I'll see you again.